some of the weird behavior that I see around me and stuff like that. Just in case it just happens to be weird behavior or gang stalkers. So this guy right here, license plate CAT2820, at the exact moment that I was leaving my house going up around the roundabout, he went the opposite way in going the wrong way in traffic, which is what I just made a video about and uploaded. So there's that. I was also talking about Lyft drivers last night. There's a Lyft driver behind me. They're everywhere, so that could be normal, but just making an observation. If you put enough observations together and then you do some math and check out some statistics, you can determine if something is fake or not. I'm not the mathematician that can figure that out. I'm just saying I know that it's possible. Yeah, see this guy's getting up close to me. Doing a little hand signal right there. I'm not afraid to talk about this in front of you anymore, Brad. It's 100% real. There's just how life's gonna be for a while. Some of these kids at your school do this too. Just so you know, they teach little kids to do this stuff. It's sick. I love you, Brett. I hope you have a good day. So they got these kids at this high school do this. Every day when I dropped my daughter off, I was dropping her off on one side of the high school, and it was getting kind of congested over there. So we came over here, and for like 2-3 days, there was only like 1 or 2 cars when we'd pull up. And then all of a sudden now, we come over here and it's just packed. Everybody decided to go to the side too. You know, it could be the time of day that we come over here or whatever. But yeah, but they've got kids, as many of you know. Their TIs. They've got little kids. They've got little kids learning this. They start them off as young as they can talk, and they'll have them stand outside of your house and just scream, and like 2 or 3 of them, and they'll just have them. I have video of it, and I always I don't know if I sound like I'm trying to talk myself out of believing this, but I'm not. But I'm just trying to keep it in perspective for somebody that's listening to this that has no idea. They'll be out there screaming just at the top of their lungs for no reason, and it's not natural. It's like they're just going ah, 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 you know, like weird noises. Sorry, Willis. And they just keep going, and then you can only realize it after a long period of time. Once it happens again and again and again, because you just think, God, man, why don't those people, you know, calm their kids down? Why are they just letting them scream? You know, and then you realize later on down the road that they weren't letting them scream; they're teaching them to scream to cause noise for a noise campaign. And I'm not saying that some kids aren't just wild and they're out there making all kinds of noise, but typically, if a couple kids are out in the front of the house and they're screaming bloody murder, screaming their heads off, the parents are going to go out there and say, hey, what are you doing? Knock it off. Not even because they wanted to control their kids and their kids to be good, they just don't want to hear it. You know, it doesn't matter what the case is. So anyway, they start these kids off super young, like that, and then they have them run in front of your car. I was at the gas station one time, and I'm always looking ahead of me, watching for these people, and they wait till you're pulling up and you're about to pull left to pull into a parking space, and it's like they just boom, it's like they get let out of the horse gates, you know, bell rings and they're off to the races, and there's 5 of them walking across the parking lot right in front of you, and then they will send a kid. One time, and I don't know, man, it looked like the kid fell on purpose, but this kid just took off running. It was like he was standing there in like a little track starting position, almost like, you know, like when you run track, get in the starting position. You just standing there behind the car like that. As soon as I come around the corner, he takes off running and does like a Pete Rose slide right in front of me. I hope to hell that he just tripped and that his parents didn't tell him, you need to go take a nosedive in front of that car when it's driving. You know, thankfully I'm paying attention to stuff like this. But so I'd say that kid was 5. So that's ridiculous. Even at the junior high, there's kids involved. There was my daughter went to the movies with some friends, and you know, stuff happens when kids are out. There was one instance where they were by the movies, and there's little rocks everywhere around here because of the landscaping. There's little rocks around here because of the landscaping. So you know, it's the boy with the movies, stuff like that. They start throwing rocks, like tossing rocks at each other, trying to get each other's attention or whatever. How the kids do, teenagers do, whatever. Junior high kids. And I guess my daughter threw a rock back at him, you know, like just kind of tossed one at him. The kid fired a fastball right in her eye, directly in the center of her eyeball. When I picked her up, the center of her eye had blood filled in it, and her pupil was dilated larger than her other pupil, which in the case of trauma, if that happens, if it's not just a direct hit to the eye, when one pupil is a bit larger than the other, you have head trauma, 100% for sure. You can go ahead and research that if you like. You're not in good shape. So I saw that and I immediately thought, oh my God, my daughter has head trauma. And then I, you know, took a second to go ahead and go through the process in my head and realized, no, this is probably an eye injury. But I had to take her to the emergency room and get it checked out. Thankfully, it hadn't detached, and it has healed, but it hasn't healed all the way. Yeah, so here's my gang stalker neighbor right here. They're probably gonna wave at me. I'm not gonna wave. And fuck you. Fucking drug me, you piece of shit. Anyway, that happened. My daughter's okay now with the eye. She still has some problems with it. We need to keep getting that checked out. She's got some problem with that eye, and I have a sneaking suspicion that that was not just playful, joking around, flirting, you know, because I tried to call it, you know, okay, and everybody's afraid of being sued or whatever, but I tried to, when I got her in the car and her friend, I said, give me that boy's phone number right now. I tried to call him, called him several times, said, you know, left some messages, and I said, hey, listen, you've caused some damage to my daughter's eye. You need to call me back. We need to talk about this. You need to have your mom call me. You need to, nobody called me back. Nobody would respond to anything. The next day, talked to the school, explained to them what happened. You know, it's their student. You know, of course, nobody ever will take responsibility for anything. And I'm not asking the school to take responsibility for anything off campus, but just to maybe talk to the kid at school, let him know. I mean, that there's an emergency room report from this incident. You know, it's not like we can't prove that he didn't do it. Talk to the kid. Tell him you can't be throwing rocks in girls' faces, you know, hitting them in the eye, causing permanent damage. You know, you can't do that. Nobody would respond to me. I couldn't get in contact with anyone. I said, well, what's his mom do? I said, the kids told me, his mom won't tell him what she does. Okay. Gang stalker. Permanent, full-time gang stalker probably, huh? Or maybe she just got a, you know, job that's illegal. Maybe she's a prostitute. Which I want to clarify, I have no problem if somebody wants to be a prostitute. Just don't marry me and lie about it, you know. Prostitution should be legal, in my opinion. Do what you want. I mean, shit, porn is legal. That takes one piece of paper, you know. Then you're not a prostitute anymore. You're a porn star. Anyway. How the hell did I go off on that tangent? Oh, okay, yeah, I just rewound my brain here a little bit and I see walk myself back. So anyways, mom had some kind of job that she wouldn't tell the kid what she does, or maybe she's top secret. Maybe she's got some classified job. She's a secret squirrel. Trained at Fort Meade, Maryland, where I went to art school for the Air Force. Use this as test subjects. The NSA did anyway. So back to them training kids to do this. So they had that kid run in front of my car at the gas station. They've got these kids doing hand signals all day long. Right when you pass, they look out, make sure it's the right car. They, you know, all these people know me around here by now. I drive everywhere around here. Oh, this is that black 4Runner. Or their app goes off, or their, who knows, or they're, some of you say they're demons. Maybe they can feel me coming. Who knows? I'm not trying to really explain that. I'm just trying to explain what's going on. I think that's kind of what I've noticed myself doing here with this, because I don't really have any kind of plan. I'm just turning my camera on and talking. Whatever comes out, comes out. That's why it's all over the place. I was going to write down some notes and stuff like that, but I just, maybe I'll get to that point when I just start running out of things to say, but man, this head is full of things right now. So the hand signals, junior high kids, right over here by my house. Then just when I was going to school, just now taking my daughter, you know, I'm post this video. Man, I wish I would have had my camera on. Damn it! So I left the house, pulled out, go down the roundabout, and as I'm going down the roundabout, this guy comes hauling ass in a teal green Chevy truck. The guy that was on the beginning of this video, and instead of going right around it, he goes left around it. Never once seen anybody do that here since Dad moved in. So I just posted this video about complaining about people going the wrong way down the road, you know. And I guess they thought that I was gonna like pull up to that guy and say, "Hey man, why don't you drive the right way?" or something. Let him start a fight with me or whatever, and make me look like a crazy ass in front of my daughter. So instead, that's a okay. I'm good. Tangent. Here we go. That's another big thing is trying to make you look crazy in front of your family members, because 15-year-old kid, I mean, come on, it's hard enough being a teenager in the first place, making it through school, making it through high school. It's awkward. I mean, just tough. And you got to deal with your parent going through this on top of that. How do you fun? I mean, she's yeah. The people around you will start to resent you if you really try to fight this, or you're talking about it, or it's tough because it just sounds so nonsense. And they'll see it, but I don't know. Man, that's a tough one. Yeah, so like all you people say, they're turning people against you and stuff like that, and it does happen. There's a video on YouTube of these two cats on a roof. They are, I think there's some snow up there. I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, they're sitting opposite directions. They're looking different directions, and there's a crow. The crow decides he's going to mess with them. The crow goes over and he grabs the cat's tail and then flies back over before the cat can realize that it was a crow. The cat looks back and thinks it's the other cat. Crow does the other thing to the other cat, keeps doing that back and forth until pretty soon these cats both just get in a cat fight, literally, and like roll off the roof. Check it out, YouTube, cat, crow. I'm sure it'll come up. There you go. Simple enough. Well, there's a gang stalking tactic right there. Something as small as, say, here, let's say this, just as an example. Let's say that two people in a house both smoke cigarettes, and there's one place where you put the lighter when you're done. You come in and you set the lighter down, and that's agreed between the two people. And somebody comes in and they steal that lighter. It's an insignificant object. It costs $1 something, but it's supposed to be there. So the first person that's going to notice it is going to ask the other person to say, hey, where's the lighter? The second person is going to say, I don't know, where'd you put it? And then immediately at that second, a thought of doubt forms in both of their minds of, okay, well, this person's blaming me now, where'd they put it, and then, it's just a tiny little thing, but then you get another one, you go buy another one, and you put it back there, and it's there for a while, and then next thing you know, it disappears. Neither person took it, somebody else grabbed it, and again, it's an insignificant item. But again, the first person that realizes it's gone says, hey, the lighter's gone. Did you grab that? You can keep going through the scenario, and then eventually, like 5 or 6 times down the road, there's going to be an argument about, like, hey, look, if you're going to use something, just put it back. That kind of thing, whatever the scenario is. And then the other person's going to feel backed into a corner and say, whoa, hold on, look, I know that I haven't been taking that thing. I know that you're making a big deal about this. And both people know that they didn't do anything, and they're getting accused by the other person. And then there you go, you have conflict between those people. So that's over a lighter and 2 people. Imagine, with that theory, what you could do with a large amount of people. If that is your full-time job, you have plenty of time and resources, you can basically figure anything out. If you have a mission, if you have a main objective, time and resources, you can do anything. Wow, this video might be the most all over the place video I've done. I was talking about how these people train kids to gang stalk, and I ended up all over the place. So yeah, and I get gang stalk, or a lot of hand signals from the kids, definitely hand signals from high school kids.